Fuck, I hate days like today. I hate days like today. Ah. So besides dealing with corporate greed, what? Let me see. 4 times this week we've had to deal with companies, corporations, just trying their damnedest to fucking, get over on us. And you're like, so you made $80 billion, and that 1995 means everything to you. You made all this money, but it's never enough. Every little penny, these guys, these bean counters, man, because that guy at the top needs that $187,000 bonus. Like just got turned down at Netflix. Okay? The shareholders were like, no, we don't think so, man. And when you look at Disney again, that's one of those companies that I kind of had an idea about who they were, and now I understand. Nope, you were just you were making them appear to be human in your mind, like you do your crows. You're anthropomorphizing Disney as if it was had any moral sensibilities whatsoever. So what I do is I speed run Borderlands. I don't fight anyone I don't have to. I try to take the shortest route, kill the least amount of enemies, get to the place as fast as possible, and that kind of focus where I find myself leaning in like this. That's the only thing that really helps. Luckily, I got a soundproof door I'm putting in over here. I just got the rest of the tiles today, and when the door is finished, Katie won't have to listen to me either. Yeah, Borderlands speedrun, man. Borderlands speedrun. I think I can get through here as fast as anybody. I tried to get my buddy Travis to try a Guinness World Record for the fastest 2-man playthrough through Borderlands because we had it down pretty good. I'm still playing it. He didn't because I think he got to the point where he played it the same way every time, and he lost track of the game being an area for you to use at your own discretion. So if you're always looking for the most powerful weapon, the most powerful shield, where you're the most dominant everything, and you always use the same guns because that's what you love and that's what you're good at, you're really robbing yourself from a lot of replayability in Borderlands. I think there's one character and one thing that I haven't tried to play the game all the way through, and that's with the hunter with the soldier with just a shotgun, because the shotguns are short range, not a lot of ammo, so it can be difficult. And right now I have an infinite ammo shotgun, so that's what I'm using predominantly, which is not the gun that I ever use. So I force myself to do that, and I find myself enjoying it against my own will. This whole password email thing. So yeah, the reason they all did it at the same time was because Netflix showed them there was profit to be made, and so they did it. Without a second thought about people having changed their emails or anything, different credit cards. I mean, without a single thought to what their customers might have to go through to make it easy for them. They didn't care. They made a corporate decision that we'll just blanket fucking everybody has to do it. Or this number, or this state, or these zip codes where we know the uneducated population lives. However they decide to do it demographically, they do it. And they don't give it a second thought. And I'm itching like crazy. I've been itching since yesterday. So this is the cancer I'm doing on this arm now. This is what it looks like when you treat it. Remember when my nose looked like that? And this arm here. And so you can't scratch it, so you end up having to go around it like that. Drives me crazy. I shouldn't touch it. Yeah, days like today, they're tough, man. And low pressure area on top of it. So my ears are popping, my brain's swelling up. Jiminy Crickets, man. It's corporate greed. Billionaire's disease and corporate greed. That is every ill that you can name in society right now, from mental health, drug abuse, alcoholism, the high cost of education, you name it, and I'll tell you how billionaires have sucked every bit of profit and moral obligation out of that system so that they could put it in their fucking pocket. How do you think these people get 200 billion dollars? Okay, 150,000 million fucking dollars. It's because they didn't pay their workers. It's not a mystery. It's not a to them, monitoring them with infrared sensors to make sure they don't stand still for too long. And that's why I get mad at these fuckers for something as simple as a $15 bill every month. It's not about the money. At a certain point, you have to go, it's about moral obligation to one's customers. There's a level for whatever amount of money you're spending. That's how simple it should be, okay? I mean, as far as I know, whenever you sign up for anything now, I just read the article this morning. Maybe it is not law yet, because they said that they are strongly recommending that all companies do it now, immediately, today, because they don't want these people doing exactly what they tried to do to me, which was for that month, for an entire month, I wasn't allowed to watch Disney because they said my password and my email was wrong. But when I okay, well, we'll change our password, they wouldn't accept it, and they wouldn't accept it, and we changed it this way, and we changed it that way, because we want those streaming services to be in a family of passwords, and that family of passwords runs in a certain order. And they fucked that all up because they just wouldn't accept it. And then when they said that my password was wrong over and over and over again, they kept suggesting that I use the wrong email address. So they automatically bring up the email address that you're supposed to use to make it pre-fill or whatever it is, to fill in the blank for you, to make it easy. Okay, well, that didn't make it easy because it was the wrong email address. So how does that get all fucked up like that? It's by them it's them being greedy. It's them, they're throwing the wrench in their own fucking machinery because they have to find ways to pay those gigantic bonuses to those people at the top who basically fucking do nothing except take responsibility. Look at Licht at CNN. He's fucking out already. I'll guarantee you that when he left, he took tens of millions of dollars in severance with his little golden fucking parachute. So he fucks everything else up and gets paid for it. Now, how do I get that job? How do I interview for that job? I could have told you not to do what he did. It's fucking stupid, man. It really was stupid. I would have went straight to the talent pool. Okay? You don't have to change the way you dress, the way you do your hair, you don't have to change all that shit for people. You're supposed to be a flavor that people go to and recognize, like churches, right? So all he had to do was just get better talent. Find someone that people respected, not just listened to, but they respected. Their voice was important, okay? Look at Psaki. She's doing a fine job because people understood her intelligence level when she was at the White House. And so now that credibility has transferred over. So you just go for talent. But that guy went in there and he just ripped the fucking place apart and he's still going to get paid. That's how corporations are set up. It's almost an insane, if you look at it really at how the shape our country's in, with plastics being in our food and on top of fucking Mount Everest, and yet we still don't regulate plastics because the people who have the power to regulate plastics are owned by the people who make plastics, and oil, and high medication costs, and high prescription costs, and owning all your fucking doctors are owned by money market funds. You see, all of that is controlled by the people who are supposed to protect us, and they are in turn controlled by those people. There's nowhere for us to turn, which is why when a simple little $15 fucking mistake pissed me off, and it wasn't just me, it was just that my great-granddaughter couldn't watch what she wanted to watch. That's what pissed me off. It wasn't the $15 they stole from me. It was the idea that they felt they had to steal from me. That there was no system in place for people like me. And then when I get online and I look, Disney won't let me sign in, Disney won't let me change my password, and I do these searches, I'm going, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I feel so sorry for you. You get in this fucking loop and there's nothing there. Then they wanted you to do a chat, and it's an AI robot who really just repeats what's in the self-help thing. So just go to this self-help thing, and really there's nothing you can do. It was such a mangled, ugly fucking mess that I just had a big sigh of relief when I finally got it all settled out. I just had a big sigh of relief that I didn't have to deal with that shit again. And then I had this thought, yeah, they'll do another couple of months, they'll fuck it up. See, corporations get so big, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, right? And the brain doesn't know what the mouth is saying, and the eyes don't see what the customers are asking for. And next thing you know, it's just a big fucking mess. It's just a mess, and that's how it is right now with Disney. Everybody jumped into that fucking streaming pool. Everybody jumped in because they saw that, okay, this is gonna be the next thing. People are gonna dump their cable boxes, and they're gonna, everybody's gonna be streaming because it was so cheap. It was $11 for YouTube TV. It was just dirt fucking cheap, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 bam. Before you could blink, they were coming like, it seemed like once a week, the price hikes, man. Once a week. And they were, oh, well, we have to get, it's programming. And I'm like, when you sat down in your boardroom and you decided you were going to start this fucking streaming YouTube company, didn't you know that they were going to ask for money for their programming? You ass fucks? Of course you did. You just wanted to get people using your service. So like gasoline companies that gave gas away to get rid of electric cars, you guys gave away streaming to get rid of cable boxes. And then once the people had their cable box fucking sent back and they were no longer signed up and subscribed to the cable service that had a package they've been watching to for years, they start jacking up the fucking price. Same way that, Prime did with their music, where they had let people build playlists for 2 years, and then all of a sudden, we got to charge you now. I see all of that. Not a single scrap of that fucking convoluted, ugly, wormy, tangled fucking system gets by me. And that is what angers me. It's what drives me every day, to tell you the truth, to do videos. You know that. I don't tell people what to buy. I warn people against that shit. Basically, YouTube stopped me from doing commercials about Medicaid and Medicare fraud. Those people that got busted, and some of them went to prison. Okay, YouTube didn't want me exposing those people. So I had to stop doing that. Or you could still do it today. Then recently, they made them stop using that Medicaid, Medicare term. And I was, okay, fine. That's a little bit better, where you're telling the truth. You're not trying to convince your 80-year-old grandma that, she's actually going to call the Medicare hotline. Yeah. It's hard. It really is. And I used to tell people a lot, and I kind of got away from it. But I used to tell people a lot that I consider myself incredibly fortunate, and that really I don't need anything else in my life to be happy. I have the perfect everything. I got the perfect wife. I got the perfect granddaughter, the perfect grandson, the perfect great-granddaughter, the perfect sister, I got all this perfect in my life. You know what I mean? It's so satisfying, really, to be me. The problem is I used to tell the story about when I realized the world didn't revolve around me, when I I made my mom get a certain cereal so I could get the rocket. They showed me on Captain Satellite, they showed the rocket taking off. And I was like, oh fuck, I gotta have one of those, because I'm gonna take that rocket and I'm going to space. And my mom brings home the box, and my mind's kind of thinking, how do they get that fucking rocket ship in the box? It must be in pieces. So she takes it out, and it's in this little envelope. She hands it to me. And I'm like, but where's the rocket, Mom? And then she had to explain to me that they lied. And that they only said that so that I would tell her to get that cereal. And I remember that moment. I remember it right to this fucking day, right now. And my whole life I've been just this corporate hater. You know what I mean? it was hard to be a Republican and hate corporations because really you have to have business to make the world go forward. I'm not unrealistic that we're all going to go back to La La Land and sing Kumbaya and eat beans and fruit and shit and live this idyllic fucking commune life with 8 billion fucking people on the planet. It's the fact that someone can make an obscene amount of fucking money doing it. Nothing going back. Okay, Jeff Bezos, he made $80 billion during the pandemic. None of that fucking money came back to us, and he didn't pay any goddamn tax on that gain in wealth because it wasn't his paycheck. Okay? That is insanity. That's a diseased, sick fucking society that operates that way. There's something wrong mentally with a society that functions that way, that allows itself to be raped and pillaged by such a few number of fucking people because they own our regulatory bodies, Congress, the Senate, and our representatives. And there's really nothing we can do about it. And so that is what makes me angry, because every fucking morning I get up, I don't think about my wonderful life. I enjoy my wonderful life. Okay? What I think about is what video can I do? Who can I warn today about this? Who can I tell today, watch out for these fuckers, okay? Because they'll screw you, right? Liberty Insurance, Liberty Insurance with their little funny little commercials. That is a rat fuck company. Steer clear. Last warning, right there. Yeah, corporate greed. Every problem that we have, everything from plastic on Everest to fucking warming climate. This is not a normal June for us. Just like the snow, that weird snow. This is not normal. This is not normal. Okay? 70 fucking years, not like this. This is not normal. Yep, it's billionaires. And it's greed. Everybody thinking, I gotta get mine before the world ends. Wow, what a healthy fucking attitude. I gotta get mine before the world ends. Because the people that are that desperately social climbing, they've already got $2 or $3 million in the bank, but they want to be a billionaire, by golly. They want to be 1,000 millionaires so that they can looked at as made it. And there's a lot of those people out there. And they are doing just enormous damage to our society. Because they don't care. They don't care. When they say, oh, it's not the money, they're fucking lying. That's a disgusting lie, okay, from a person with a mental disease. Billionaires, if you notice, they don't spend their money, oh, they're philanthropic. Oh, yeah, you are, right? Well, honestly, I didn't see you spend a goddamn dime. I saw you give all this fucking money to a group of people that are going to determine who's worthy. And they're all going to pay themselves an enormous fucking salary, and we never see a dime of that actually work. Oh, here's a TV show produced by such and such foundation. Wow, really helped a lot of fucking people. You see, billionaires are absolutely terrified that one day a billionaire is going to cash out and give it away and make a difference. Not, okay, here's some stock for you and here's a promise over here. We're going to put all this money and you're going to take the interest and use that. None of this scheming shit, okay? One day a billionaire is going to take all $100 billion and he's going to cash it into green fucking dollar bills. And he's going to take that $100 billion and every $1 billion is going to solve a problem. Build 20 fucking hospitals with $1 billion, right? I mean, you will have 20 rural hospitals placed in areas where people have to travel for 20 or 30 fucking miles, right, from these little towns. You could build little hospitals with $1 billion. You could build a couple of hundred of them. Nope, all your local hospitals are owned by money market funds. I'll guarantee you your doctor is owned by a money market fund. Blue Cross, somebody owns the fucker. So yeah, corporate greed, billionaires, that is the problem. And it's not socialism. It's not fucking communist to say that you motherfuckers need to pay your fair share and clean your goddamn shit up off my streets and my roads that I pay for. I want your plastic out of my fucking ocean that's mine. See? I want your goddamn carbon out of the atmosphere. Just like killing people with alcohol and cigarettes, okay? Oil companies need to be held accountable, and they're terrified of that. They will spend any amount of money to buy your politicians. They'll spend any amount of money to get some guy disgraced in the press so he can't get elected because they're terrified of that fucker. I can guarantee you right now there's not a single company on the planet that wants Bernie Sanders to be president or Elizabeth Warren to be vice president. Not a single one of them, okay? Because all of a sudden, we wouldn't have any debt. Within 3 years, we'd be debt-free, and we would have the greatest country in the fucking world. But we wouldn't have an outsized group of fucking billionaires raping and pillaging our country. Remember, like I said, when I was young, any money people made over $250,000 a year was taxed 100%.